Souvenirs of Love is a collection of love songs which are all very personal to me. Each song has its own story. It's basically the tale of my heart, you know, longing for love, you know.
What do you want your music fans and listeners to come away with when they listen to this CD?
And I don't care if you feel anger, sadness, happiness, whatever, as long as you can feel something within the music, it's music. I would be delighted if the listener would really feel the passion, pass on the feeling I had when I wrote the song originally.
You sing two beautiful ballads on this recording, and you also collaborated with John Scofield and Richard Bona. What was that like this afternoon?
It's amazing. First off, the energy of being in the room with them draws in other things into my space. You know, the creative energy, the honor of being in the space with them. Just sitting there as they try to perfect things on their own. Words really can't express how I feel right now, to be in the room with such giants and such legends. It's a lot of pressure because in essence you're responsible for birthing somebody's baby. They've entrusted it to you. They hope that you are able to deliver it the way they intended it right here. And you know, to look in the studio and see Meeco with a big smile that could crack his face, you know, that means that I'm doing the right thing, and I feel good about being a part of aiding and abetting in like his creativity, because these tunes are beautiful, and you know, it's an honor to be a part.
Well, I was interested just when I first saw the list of the people that he plays with on his records. A bunch of my friends and a bunch of people I admire a lot. Eddie Henderson and Victor Lewis and Marion Cowing and Hubert Laws and stuff. And so that was interesting to me. And then I heard the music and it was pretty much R&B. So I thought, what a cool thing to have these jazz artists playing on R&B tracks. So I thought I would fit in. And it's cool because, you know, he's not playing on the sessions. He's really producer. He was the composer and then the producer, and that's different, you know, it's nice. I love playing ballads. I feel like I get better at it as I get older. You know, I've got more patience with the music, you know, to sing the song, so to speak.
I love his writing, and I love his the way he producing music, you know. He gave me so much freedom, you know, and I came into a session thinking I should play exactly what he sent me. And right here, he just told me, you know, what I sent you is what I sent you. But I want you now to bring your own voice out of what you heard on the tape and the chart that I gave you, you know. And I love that concept. I just love it, where I get to create instantly right there. And that's what we did today. And that's what music, you know, music is all about, you know, the moment, and it came out great.
Richard is a longtime friend of mine. I remember when he came to New York, probably around 94, 95. And he was coming to the school that I was at, Manning School of Music, and we were doing jam sessions. And he was definitely the hot new bass player on the scene. But I've never worked with or recorded with John Scofield. And, you know, he was one of the guys who I grew up listening to as a kid when I was just trying to learn jazz. So, you know, to be sitting 15, 20 feet away and making this music come to life is part of like a dream come true. Meeco was very definite about what he wanted, you know, and he could point out those things where he wanted me to come in, where he wanted me out, you know, what type of mood he wanted me to set. So, you know, I'm always happy to work with, you know, producers and composers who know what they want, you know, because sometimes in the business, you don't get that all the time. Yeah, well, I mean, every Sunday night, like tonight, I play at this spot in the city called the Village Underground.
Right across the street
from the Blue Note. Yeah. I introduced Yazra to Meeco's, recommending that she should be a part of the recording. I've seen her, you know, many times before in the New York area, and just her passion and her interpretation of the music, I thought really took the music to a whole nother level.
The themes and the emotional content of what the song's about, they lend themselves to me personally. It seems like a really natural extension. So in this particular case, you have a marriage, so to speak, that works, where the composer is presenting his pieces and particular musicians he's finding resonate with the themes and with the melodies and brings the music to life, I think, in a most positive way.
If you can get to the basic elements of emotion, then you're doing your job as a human being and as an artist. That's what I take from what I've just done. I didn't do that much. He gets to the basic core of how music is supposed to stimulate you.
At first glance, you know, he's got this serious foundation of classical and chamber music that he uses in his approach to composing. It was nice to work with him because he also gives the musicians a chance to assist with his pen. You know, he's got some great ideas and all around shapes, you know, and of course, man, Vince and Wallace, I mean, them two have been a front line since the 80s, man. You know, like, they, you know, things between them is second nature. You know, it's like, my job is to put a foundation so they can all build on that. So I hope I did that, you know. Shedrick, he's been sounding great since the first time I got a chance to hear him with Kenny Garrett, you know. Shedrick's a bad cat all around, up and down. He's got the gospel thing happening, he's got the jazz thing happening, he's got the soul thing happening, he's got the classical thing happening. She's bridging the gap between what was happening and what's happening. You know, she's very unique and soulful and thoughtful. You hear the thought of every note before she sings it.
His music triggers a vibration in my heart, in my sentiment, in my melancholy that I really relate. During a certain period, jazz embraced the boogaloo, go-go. Not many cats are playing that style of music, and he's into that, you know, and that's my period. I grew up, you know, with the boogaloo. I love playing with vocalists. There are a lot of singers in my family, you know, not all professional, but, you know, got some crooners, and they used to tell me, I'm the baby brother. They would say, yeah, baby brother, you know, we hear you playing all that instrumental stuff and everything, but if you can't make a singer happy, you're not doodly squat. You know, so it was important to them for me to be a good drummer for singers, you know. I mean, besides the fact that I love it. Me and John, we go back to the late 70s. We used to share a rehearsal space together in the basement of West Beth. You know, it was 24-hour access, you know, because we were 24-hour musicians, and inspiration can come any time. He's a fantastic intellectual player, but also he's got grease on his stuff too, you know, so that combination, you know, allows individuality, you know, because everybody's got their own kind of grease. You know, if you can come up with it. The lyrics are wonderful and they tell a story, but the music is also as powerful in that without the lyrics, it still triggers like the same vibrations, you know, instrumentally. So every time he calls, I know I'm gonna like get my heart, you know, tapped, you know, and embraced.
Buster, Hubert, Eddie, Vincent, Victor, I mean, they're all family. Even Systems 2 here, you know, they're all family. I'm so lucky to have that kind of support.